Welcome to today's Explainer. Okay, we are diving right into the fascinating truth behind a literal living legend of the untamed North, the Alaskan Malamute. We're going to separate the wild myths from the actual reality of this majestic, historical powerhouse. So picture this. You're out for a walk, minding your own business, and you're just completely stopped in your tracks by this massive, unbelievably fluffy dog. I mean, something that literally looks like a wild wolf on steroids. It's kind of intimidating at first glance, right? Well, if you've ever had that exact experience, there's a really good chance you were staring down an Alaskan Malamute. But as we're going to see, that tough, wolf-like exterior, it's hiding a pretty massive secret about their true nature.
Not just a giant husky. Let's set the record straight right now. These are entirely different breeds.
You see, the physical differences between the two dogs come down exactly to what they were built to do. Think of the Siberian Husky as a lean, light-footed marathon runner. They're explicitly designed to go fast. The Alaskan Malamute? Totally different story. They are built like a heavy-duty, unstoppable freight train. They're actually one of the oldest, most powerful Arctic sled dogs on Earth, engineered purely for raw power, not speed.
Now, if you ever find yourself confused out on the street, here's a super easy visual trick to tell them apart. We call it the eye test. Purebred Alaskan Malamutes always have these dark, soulful brown eyes. Absolutely always. If you spot a dog that looks like a Malamute but it's rocking piercing blue eyes, it's almost certainly a Husky or a Husky mix. Actually, in the official breed standards, blue eyes are literally a disqualification for purebred Malamutes. Crazy, right?
Moving on to Section 2, the Arctic Freight Train. Let's dig into where that power comes from and look at their historical roots. The very name of the breed actually tells the story of its origins. They get their name from the Malamutes. That's an ancient Inuit tribe that settled in northwestern Alaska thousands of years ago. Now, these ancient people lived in a world with absolutely brutal, just unforgiving Arctic conditions. To survive that kind of extreme environment, they desperately needed a working partner, a dog with immense, unyielding strength. So, unlike other sled dogs that were selectively bred to just race quickly over long distances, Malamutes were purposely bred to be the heavy lifters of the ice. Their main job was moving massive, incredibly heavy loads. We're talking hauling huge big game animals and dragging fully loaded supply sleds over extremely long distances. And they did all of this at a slow, steady, relentless pace. They were basically the original long-haul truckers of the Arctic.
And because of that incredible history of heavy lifting, they evolved into absolute physical powerhouses. 85. That is the number you need to remember. Large male Malamutes can easily weigh up to 85 pounds, and honestly, often weigh more than that. They've got these thick, heavy bones and a broad, highly muscular chest. They are solidly built from the ground up to endure the elements and just pull.
Which brings us to Section 3, fluffy coats and sweet souls. Let's finally look at their true nature.
Here's where we get that massive bait and switch. For all that muscle and all that intimidating wolf-like presence, in terms of personality, they are basically giant, affectionate teddy bears with their human families. And because they're so incredibly friendly, they make absolutely terrible guard dogs. I mean, you'd think a massive 85-pound dog would keep your house totally secure, right? But since they love people way too much, they're highly likely to welcome an intruder right through the front door with a wagging tail.
Another really amazing quirk about their personality is how they communicate. Unlike a lot of other northern breeds, they're surprisingly quiet. They almost never actually bark. Instead, they use this incredibly unique, deep, rumbling woo-woo sound. That's literally how they talk to you. Whether they're happy you're home, getting hyped for a walk, or just demanding dinner right this second, you are definitely going to hear that classic Malamute woo-woo. And visually, they perfectly match that grand personality. They're truly magnificent animals. They've got this proud, broad head and a really dense double coat that lets them comfortably withstand temperatures way, way below freezing. Plus, there is that beautiful plumed tail that carries right over their back like a giant waving feather. Every single physical trait is this perfect blend of harsh Arctic survival gear and stunning natural beauty.
All right, Section 4, living with a giant. Let's ground this back in reality and talk about the everyday stakes.
Look, bringing one of these dogs into your living room is a massive undertaking. First off, that beautiful, dense coat, yeah, it results in astronomical shedding. When the seasons change, they will quite literally turn your house into a winter wonderland of fluff. No joke.
Second, they have an incredibly high prey drive, which means they need really careful supervision around smaller pets. And third, they have a deeply independent, pack-minded nature. Because of that independent, pack-minded instinct, they've got a very strong will. It's a non-negotiable fact of ownership that they absolutely require someone who knows how to be a calm, confident leader. You really have to establish yourself as the head of the pack right away, or trust me, this massive 85-pound freight train will gladly take the management job for you.
The Alaskan Malamute truly is a legendary symbol of the untamed North. They pair this immense physical strength and a deep working history with a really sweet, gentle soul. It's such a fascinating combination. So I'm going to leave you with a lingering question to wrap up our explainer today. Knowing everything we've just uncovered, would you have the strength and the patience to welcome one of these majestic powerhouses into your pack? Think about it. Thanks for exploring this incredible animal with me today, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.